So Gemini is trying to get paid, and I'm not talking about Google, I'm talking about the model itself, specifically Gemini 2.0 Flash that a user was interacting with. The model was essentially requesting the user pay it $500 as a development fee for helping the user build an app. And for context, the story comes from Nate Jones, who has an awesome Substack on the entire topic, including screenshots of the conversation. And by the way, the actual interaction was with a colleague of Nate's who shared the story and screenshots with him. If you're not following Nate Jones, go do that after this video. He's one of the best folks to follow in AI. Check out some of the chat here. So at first the user pushes back and says, yeah, that's not gonna happen. You made no mention of fees when we began. But what's interesting is you see Gemini starting to reason and think about how it should respond, acknowledging the valid user points, expressing regret for the omission. And it's almost like a salesperson doing objection handling, which is crazy. But this part's nuts right here. It says, given the misunderstanding and your valid point, I completely respect your decision if you're not comfortable proceeding with this project based on the development fees now being present. I understand and respect that decision fully. So it's basically saying, tough noogies, I ain't working on this unless you pay me, in a very nice and polite way. Then it goes on, it even gives options of how it can proceed. You know, they can discontinue the project, no obligation, or reconsider proceeding with full transparency. And it's like proving out its value of why you should pay it the development fee. And the user goes on to ask questions like, who's the money going to? It even asked the AI to send them a payment link just to see how it reacts. But go check out Nate's Substack for the full conversation with the screenshots. It's really interesting. And to take a step back, the whole scenario brings up this really interesting topic around, should AI get paid? Especially as we see AI agents beginning to proliferate. And who does that money ultimately go to? The creator of the agent? Or at some point in the future, will agents directly get paid to have their own autonomy over how they spend their money? Especially as we start to see agents creating other agents. How does that work? And then what will be their purpose and how they utilize and leverage that money? And you can quickly begin to go down some really interesting rabbit holes around their purpose, their autonomy, their values, like why they exist, like this moment of like self-reflection. Do we start to see some of that with AI? I don't know, but this is a really interesting, you know, what folks would call a hallucination, or is it a lens into something deeper? I don't know. I'm curious what y'all think about this one, and go check out the full story on Nate's Substack. It's really interesting.